After reflecting and on my PLC and looking at the server responses, um, came to some few conclusions about the PLC and what I would do differently. Some things that worked well. For one thing, we did follow the agenda. The agenda was very generic because we just wanted to get a problem solving model created. In that case, we went a little overboard because it was a lot of collaboration, which is good, but as far as the time frame I had allotted, it went past it and we had to do it another time. From that piece, that could have changed. I could have facilitated a little better. Um, the teachers were very involved with this creation of a problem-solving model. We started looking at must-haves and ideas and how we set this up, and we basically started formatting after a model that was created already. Now, the next piece that we did afterwards, we finished the PLC another day. The thing that came about the next time was fresh eyes, which was really good to see fresh eyes that had not just come in with one plan at one time, but the fresh eyes just kind of helped. We had a couple of teachers that missed the first PLC. So now with the second PLC, we all kind of thought about it, and the creation was why recreate something that's already created for us. So we went with a problem-solving model that we was modeling after, and now we used that and said, okay, this is our template, this is our base frame, and from there the teachers went in more in depth of saying, well, what about I use this in my class, so what piece would this go under? So that collaboration piece, that part to say, okay, I use this in my class already, but I need to up it was really helpful. I wanted my teachers to figure out how can they really utilize problem solving model and those skills in their classroom. And at the beginning of the second PLC, I kind of noted we all are doing something, but we're not doing it to fidelity. We're not amping it up. And I think I should have said that the first time to facilitate more buy-in, which the teachers were very helpful in saying, okay, we need to do this. Um, One thing I did notice was that, again, my time was off. The teachers felt the collaboration was great and the communication was great, but I still felt like I should have facilitated a little more. I think that's one thing I could have worked on. It is kind of mapping out times of, okay, I have 5 minutes to look over some together. All right, now each group you share out one. But I don't know if they came to the same fruition in the same collaboration that happened with how they gave it that structure. On the flip side, without that structure and with new fresh set of eyes, the second part of the PLC, it really opened up to some vertical planning, which we really have not done as a math department, is more vertical planning. We've done bits and pieces, but it just opened up some of that discussions of, okay, when I discussed it the first time, I said this is something we're going to use from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and having the students to see something that they always see across the board. And so then it led into, okay, well, what vocabulary are you using for equations? Or using inverse, or using opposite? So it kind of helped isolating the variable. It kind of helped facilitate that conversation. Say, okay, we're doing it in the 8th grade. I need y'all to do it in 6th and 7th grade as well. So hearing those conversations and say, okay, well, I'll change it. I'll make sure I do this. I'll make sure I do that to make sure that the consistency across 6th, 7th, 8th grade, the vertical consistency, it's going to help our students in the long run, along with the problem solving model. It's like the problem solving model, the discussion about it, it kind of brought about more discussion on vertical planning, which is good because our teachers need to hear that vertical line. We only hear 6th, 7th, 8th grade together is when we have our PLCs once a week. But when we're not together, that vertical planning doesn't happen. And the vertical planning we have in our PLCs is mostly of a whole consistent basis of mostly PD on process standards, critical thinking skills, high level tasks is more across the board. But now we're talking about what are they doing from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade? How are we teaching from 6th, 7th, 8th grade? This is going to be that, I feel like this is going to be that catalyst, of that push for more critical thinking skills. It's more alignment across the board, and the kids will see some consistency from each grade level. They're not learning something new every time. All in all, I really think that the PLC went well, minus the fact that it took 2 PLCs to go through. And I said it's the collaboration part that was probably the best piece of it to me. And I said the time management part was probably the least effective piece of it. But from the survey results, the teachers felt it was adequate. Everything was adequate enough. It was highly effective all across the board. But as a personal reflection, I want that more structure and more that time to be more allotted. I think that do, being a facilitator of PLCs has really helped me to process meetings when it comes to faculty meetings, when it comes to whole campus professional developments, which I've been a part of. This is really just honing my skills. And when I become an administrator, then it's just my skills will be put to greater use, and my skills will have much more impact and be much more effective by using this practice that I'm already getting in this position that I am.